Hi boys and girls, it's me Butch. My name is Terry David Silvercloud. I'm not native, it just sounds that way. I'm 81 years old, and today is, I've forgotten already of course, it's Tuesday around the 13th or so, 12th. I'm such a ditz, I should have looked it up. Anyhow, it's Tuesday, almost mid-month in January, and it is going on 3:45 in the afternoon. And I'm lucky because I'm getting a little bit of sun out there, so that'll add to this test. And what I'm doing is testing out microphones and stuff. So what I want to talk about today, for the gay boys, mostly the gay boys, I don't know much about girls or gay girls, but I wanted to talk about a varicocele. What is a varicocele? I know a lot about it because I had one. I no longer have it. A varicocele is, you may never see one, but some guys get them. It occurs in about 1 in every 1,000 men, that's for sure. It's just a genetic aberration with the man's balls, and it's almost always the left one. I've never heard of it being the right one. The left ball is bigger than the right one, usually hangs much lower, and somewhere around puberty, when everything starts growing, the veins that run up from the two balls that are hanging there on the left one become sometimes very, very large in the guy who has what's called a varicocele. I was very, very shy when I was young and really embarrassed by it. Even when I joined the Navy, I was terrified because I was going to have to do a physical, and a doctor had never looked at my parts that I know of, and I certainly wouldn't have talked about it with my parents. But I thought I might get rejected from the Navy, and I wanted to go to university with them, and that didn't concern them one little bit. And since then I've learned what it is. So it's a genetic aberration that happens in some guys where the left ball usually is larger, and the veins that are growing out of it can become very, very large when they go up and down the veins. Like when they're full of blood, sometimes working away, it'll make like your bag, it'll make your bag feel almost wormy. And if you have it, you'll know what I mean. If you encounter it, you'll know what I mean. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the guy that has it. It's not a disease or anything. It's a genetic aberration. Nobody knows why. And because it's a guy thing, it's not investigated all that much. But with me, mine was so great that when I had an operation, the surgeon that did it asked if about half a dozen interns could watch the operation. Because it was semi-rare, and they might have to do it someday, and I was apparently a pretty spectacular case. I was simply embarrassed by it. My boyfriend loved it. He was quite upset, my first boyfriend, that I was going to have it removed. And I had that done, I guess, in my 20s. It has caused me some issues in my old age, not directly, but indirectly, in that as I aged, like all guys do, and my units weren't working as hard or something, the right testicle ball was always smaller, and it shrunk even more. And when I began having sexual issues, like a lot of guys do, in their late 50s and early 60s, that was maybe part of the problem, that my body was producing less testosterone. I've been in hormone replacement therapy, which is, I get a shot of testosterone these days every week, every 7 days, small amount, because my units simply stopped making enough testosterone that my body needed. Your body, especially a man, but women too, but particularly a man, need testosterone, and it's basically made in your balls. And one of my units, the right one, began shrinking in my late 50s and 60s to the size where it's like a size of a baby boy's unit now, and it doesn't make any. And my left unit, because of my operation, it had a bit of a cyst problem, which has since corrected since I started taking testosterone, the cyst shrank, and so my left unit makes sperm quite well, so I'm able to pleasure myself with my Tenga, Tenga, Tenga flip hole. Tenga flip hole. They come in black, white, and red models. They're about $125 roughly Canadian these days. It's a sex toy in which you can brace against your bathroom cabinet or whatever you want, and lube it up with a bit of KY and pound it, and eventually you know what'll happen. What you want to happen will happen, and wash it out afterwards. It's called a flip hole, so you can open up and wash it out afterwards. Okay, where was I? So my unit's working reasonably well for an 81-year-old, and I like to pleasure myself daily if I can. I have severe pain problems. I have really severe health problems. That's why I keep making these videos, because I don't know how long I'll live. My heart is strong enough, but it has control problems, and so my blood pressure and it just doesn't know when it's supposed to beat. I don't know why, but I'm taking lots of meds for it, and I'm trying to make videos because I was a photographer, I'm an artist. I guess I'm vain, who knows. We creator types, it's just the way we are. We like doing stuff. I've noticed amongst other creators, particularly gay creators, that we have a lot in common. A lot of us like making art, or we play an instrument, musical instrument. We just like doing stuff, and we're not ashamed to get out there and say, "Hi, it's me," because we've learned that everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid of something, and just get over it as best you can, and try to be entertaining or educational or something. And with a motor mouth like me, what better thing to do than make videos, because I just never shut up. You know, I'm a bit ADHD, that doesn't hurt or help or something. So I don't want this video to go on and on and on and on and on forever. I like to throw a little bit of science in before I shut up. Butch is a nerd, so for the nerds out there who might still be here, you won't find this in any textbook. Butch says that the reason solids are solids, liquids are liquids, and gases are gases is that solids have vertices, just like this stellated whatever it is, and this is a gyrobifastigium. It has pointy parts and flat surfaces. That gives them strength. They resist. They like it the way it is. They don't want it to go away. And liquids are spheroidal. Oops. They can be wobbly spheroidal. The tracking device is going to get confused by this yellow ball, I know. But liquids are spheroidal, and gases are tori, which is a donut shape. And that's because the sphere starts spinning faster and faster and faster, and it develops a hole through it as the equator expands, and it starts accepting longer and longer and longer wavelengths. That's why it's doing it. That's for the geeky guys out there. So like gases are tori. I'm looking for my helium model, which always disappears when I'm looking for it. It's probably because it's behind something. It is behind something. Butch says, this is really going to confuse the tracking device. Let's see if I'm still tracking here. What are you doing, tracking devices? Not bad. Butch says that this is a model of helium at the point of condensation from a gas, two tori, two opposite spinning hydrogen atoms, and it's having trouble condensing because they're interlocked, and it doesn't want to do that, and it's almost impossible to freeze helium. It won't stay frozen for very long, or it'll be semi-frozen. And Butch says if it could, if this shape could freeze, it would form what's called the Johnson solid J26, which is a gyrobifastigium. This is one of the few shapes that can tile the universe. If you have enough of these suckers, you can fill the universe to infinity with no space in between anywhere. And Butch says that's what's happening, and this is the shape of two tachyons stuck together. And Butch says the universe is made of tachyons, and they're smaller than electrons, and they move at tachyon speed, which is faster than the speed of light by at least twice. And also that light speed is a relativity illusion that is set by the diameter of the electron. Okay, I think my tracking device just lost me there. What happened to you, dear? There you are. Okay. The vertical camera, I can't see. I'm trying to get full screen, because this is a test. I'm trying to get full screen video on you. I can't see what I'm recording. I hope you're seeing all of me. You're seeing all of me? And I'm recording a second camera. They're both phones. And the horizontal one here, and each one has its own microphone. So I'm trying out a better microphone on you, and if you work good this time, if you work well, sorry, the nerds will get it. The smart people can tell who the less educated people, the educated people, they're not always that smart, but the well-educated people can tell the poorly educated people by their grammar. So if you don't know when to use good or well in their proper place, as it were, their actual, where they're supposed to be, grammarily, is that a word? See, I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word? They'll know. So you cannot do things good. You do them well. If you have to answer the question how, why, when, or where, it's probably the answer as well. Okay, this other camera here is making funny pictures at me, and I don't know if it's why it's doing that. Oh, they went away. It's a test. So I know I've gone on like a dripping tap forever, and I got some science in there. A varicocele is enlarged veins in your left nut. There's nothing wrong with it unless it's really hurting you in some way. My doctor wondered if I was living with it that long, why I wanted it removed. And he was a gay doctor. I said, I'm embarrassed by it, I don't like it. And he said, okay. But I had to see a urologist, and they asked all the same questions. And, you know, and because mine was so large and so spectacular, they thought, well, it might cause me problems in my old age. And it sort of has, but you know, I'm old. A lot of you won't live to be 81, so now I'm just yakking. I don't want to sound depressing or anything like that. I'm really pleased that there's some sunlight out there, because it tells me how well the cameras are recording under this situation. And then, oops, I can't go over there. You might see something you're not supposed to see. I'm trying to be, you know, compliant with the tube. And be helpful in any way I can, because I know that my time is limited. I may live another year. I could even live another 10 years. I have no desire to do so. I just tried out a new pain pill last night. I'm starting at a low dose. For the next 2 nights I do that dose, and then the next 3 nights I double it, and then I see my doctor the next day and I tell him how'd that go. The dose last night might have helped me sleep better or longer, but it didn't take away any hurting. So we'll see. So I have arthritis, and I've been in car accidents, and I've had some bad falls, and just stuff like that. So they're coming back to haunt me. And now I have gone in and on forever like a dripping tap. Just because I can. It's my channel. I appreciate the likes. That really lets me know that you're somehow being supported. Even if you thought this was a pile of crap, at least you're trying to be supportive in some way. And for the people that dislike me, well, tell me why. I know you're too. You don't have it in you. You don't have the jam. You don't have the jam to tell me why you wouldn't like me. So now I'm going to walk over to the camera, and I'm going to shut them off. So who do I start with? I'm going to see if I can turn you off. by pushing a front button. If that works, that'll be really... There's a camera down here, and there's a camera up there. There's two cameras here. So I'm going to see if I can make you stop by going like this. Blink. Did that work? I have no idea. And then for you, I'm going to make you stop anyway. So bye-bye from Butch.